much as you wish, he would say, no, you must give it now, and if not, I will take it by force. Thus the sin of the young men were very great in the sight of the Lord, for the men treated the offering of the Lord with contempt. Samuel was ministering before the Lord, a boy clothed with a linen ephod, and his mother used to make him a little robe and take it to him each year when she went up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Then Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, may the Lord give you children by this woman for the petition she asked for the Lord. So then they would return to their home. Indeed, the Lord visited Hannah with 3 sons and 2 daughters, and the boy Samuel grew in the presence of the Lord. Now Eli was very old, and he kept hearing all that his sons were doing to all Israel, and how they lay with the women who were serving at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And he said to them, why do you do such things? For I hear of your evil dealings from all these people. No, my sons, it is not good report that I hear the people of the Lord spread to death. Now, the boy Samuel continued to grow both in stature and in favor with the Lord and also with men. And there came a man of God to Eli and said to him, thus saith the Lord, did I indeed reveal myself to the house of your father when they were in Egypt, subject to the house of Pharaoh? Did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to go up to my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? I gave to the house of your father all my offerings by fire from the people of Israel. Why then do you scorn my sacrifices and my offerings that I commanded for my dwelling, and honor your sons above my fattening by fattening yourselves on the choicest parts of every offering of my people Israel? Therefore, the Lord, the God of Israel, declares, I promise that your house and the house of your father should go in and out before me forever. But now, the Lord declares, far be it from me. For those who honor me, I will honor, and those who despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the days are coming when I will cut off your strength and the strength of your father's house, so that there will no be an old man in your house. Then in distress you will look with envious eye all the prosperity that shall be bestowed on Israel, and there shall not be an old man in your house forever. The only one of you whom I shall not cut off from my altar shall be spared to weep his eyes out, to grieve his heart, and all the descendants of your house shall die by the sword of men. And this that shall come upon you and your 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, shall be the sign to you. Both of them shall die on the same day. And I will raise up for myself a faithful priest, who shall do according to what is in my heart and in my mind. And I will build him a sure house, and he shall go in and out before my anointed forever. And everyone who is left in your house shall come to employ him for a piece of silver or a loaf of bread, and shall say, please put me in one of the priest's places, that I may eat a morsel of bread. This is very pathetic, isn't it? It's a very pathetic story that has been recorded in the book of Samuel. One could observe how the young priests of Eli are introduced in this text. According to the narrator, they were wicked men and had no regard for the Lord. They were wicked men. The Masoretic text, the Hebrew Bible, compares these sons of Eli to Belial Belial, wicked men, worthless men, more or less stiff-necked men, people who were so stubborn that it cannot be described. Now the question is, what the hell were wicked men doing in the service of the Lord? What in common does darkness have with light? In fact, their whole life looks more sinful when one considers the fact that they pretended to be serving the Lord. They had no respect for him. Now let's look at the acts of desecration by the priest. The text says that they did not have any respect for the Lord and his offerings. It means that they desecrated the offerings of the Lord. Desecration is an act of violating, polluting, or contaminating what is considered sacred. So desecration occurs when a sacred place or object is treated shamefully or with great disrespect. In the Old Testament, all acts of desecration were considered grievous sins. The young priest committed 4 sins. If you look at the pericope, the text, 4 sins. They were: number 1, they took what was not theirs, as you can see from verses 13 to 15. Meanwhile, according to the sacrificial instructions, the priests were entitled to the breast and thigh of the meat that were offered. You can check that with me from Leviticus chapter 7 verse 34. Let's do that reference quickly. Leviticus 7:34. For the breast that is waved and the thigh that is contributed, I have taken from the people of Israel out of the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them to Aaron the priest and to his sons as a perpetual due from the people of Israel. So clearly, the Lord made or gave instructions concerning the burnt offerings, that anytime anybody brought a burnt offering, the thigh and the breast were for the priest. But when we read from 2 Samuel 2:12 following, we realize that the sons of Eli would go with prongs, if you like a long fork, and they would thrust it into the pan which is on fire, and any amount of meat, any type of meat, any part of the meat that the prongs could take, they would take it and go away. Meanwhile, God had instructed them which part of the meat that was for them: the breast and the thigh. So the first kind of sin they committed was that they took what did not belong to them. The second one is that they placed their personal interests above and ahead of the Lord. As you can see in verses 15 to 16, according to the sacrificial instructions, the fat ought to be burnt first. That's why it is called burnt offering. They ought to be burnt. After that, the thigh and the breast will be given to the priest. So God had to take his offering first, and then the remaining one, which he has instructed, will be given to the priest. But this particular young priest, called the sons of Eli, would want to take theirs first. When the worshippers would even told them that they should wait for them to finish the burnt one for God to have his, they will say, we want ours now. If you don't allow us, we will take it by force. They did that to desecrate what is sacred. The third kind of sin they committed is that they demanded raw meat so that they could roast it rather slowly than boiling it quickly as prescribed in the sacrificial law. Yes. In Exodus 12, 8 to 11, there is a law regarding sacrifices. Exodus 12, 8 to 11. It says, they shall eat the flesh that night, roasted on the fire with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Do not eat any of it raw or boiled in water, but roasted, its head with its legs and its inner parts. And you shall let none of it remain until the morning. Anything that remains until the morning you shall burn. In this manner you shall eat it with your belt fastened. It means you eat it hurriedly. Your sandals on your feet and your staff in your hand. And you shall eat it in haste. Yes. Because it is the Lord's Passover. The law is coming from the Passover events. When the people of Israel were supposed to leave Egypt, God said that the meat they had prepared, they were supposed to eat it hurriedly because they were on their way out. Exodus, way out. They were not supposed to take their time and relax and eat it. But look at these sons of Eli. They knew this law, but they would want the meat to be given to them so that they will go home, relax, and then roast it slowly and relax and eat it, and even keep some of them for the next day. Meanwhile, the sacrificial law was such that they were not supposed to do it that way. So all these things amount to acts of desecration. The last sin they committed per the test is that they engaged in illicit sex with women that came to make sacrifices and those that came to work in the temple. So what were they doing? They were engaging in illicit sex in the presence of the Lord. In verse 22 of 1 Samuel 2, it says that they lay with the women who work at the entrance of the look at how grievous it is. So these were the 4 sins that the sons of Eli committed. But the question I asked myself was reading the text was that, were there no elders in that community? So the text has said that there were elders. So let's look at what I call ministerial interventions. When people are doing what is wrong, are there any ministerial interventions? The practices of the young priests were leading them to destruction and giving a bad name to the ministry and to God. Were there no elders? Were there no experienced priests among them or in the community? Were there no well-meaning worshippers to counsel them? The narrative reveals that there were times